What if I told you the very thing you're holding on to is the exact thing holding you back? That the pain, the betrayal, the resentment, you keep it close, thinking it defines you, protects you, reminds you of your worth. But in reality, it's not protecting you. It's dragging you. And here's the raw truth. Life doesn't stop to wait for us to heal. It doesn't pause so we can make sense of what broke us. It keeps moving. And we either learn to let go and move with it, or we stay stuck in a cycle that steals our joy, our time, and our identity. You clicked on this video for a reason. Deep down, something in you is tired. Tired of carrying it. Tired of pretending it doesn't hurt. Tired of dragging the weight of what should have been. What didn't happen. What never got fixed. But here's the good news. There is a way out. In this video, I'm going to share with you not just motivational fluff, but real, powerful teachings that saved my life and can transform yours. We're going to break down how to stop clinging to pain that no longer serves you. We're going to walk through what it means to truly let go, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and we're going to build a version of you that no longer looks back in regret, but steps forward in clarity, power, and peace. This is more than a motivational video, this is a turning point. If you're ready to stop dragging your past and start walking in your purpose, then stay with me, because the healing begins now, the weight you refuse to release. So let me ask you something powerful and painful. What are you still holding on to that's no longer serving you? Maybe it's a betrayal, a broken dream, a childhood wound, or the ghost of someone who walked away. Whatever it is heavy. It lingers, it drains you in silence, but because you've carried it so long, you've mistaken it for a part of who you are. Let me tell you something hard to swallow. You can't become the person you're meant to be while dragging the weight of the person you used to be. I didn't understand this until life forced me to. I was gripping so tightly to memories, people, and pain that I was suffocating my own growth. And the more I held on, the more I was being dragged into anxiety, bitterness, overthinking, and exhaustion. It wasn't until I finally released what was crushing me that I realized I wasn't weak. I was just tired from carrying what no longer belonged. You see, letting go isn't weakness. It's not surrender in the way people think. Letting go is courage. It's facing the uncomfortable truth that something has ended, that something is no longer aligned with your spirit, and then choosing yourself anyway. Why is it so hard? Because the familiar feels safe, even when it's hurting us. Because the unknown feels terrifying, even when it holds freedom. We cling to pain because it's predictable. We relive the same story because it's easier than writing a new one. But you are not here to suffer, you are here to rise. And sometimes rising means releasing. Here's what changed my life, realizing that healing is not always about fixing. It's often about freeing, about setting down the story, about looking at the wound and saying, I've learned enough, I've bled enough, now it's time to live. So ask yourself today, not out of fear, but out of love. What do I need to let go of to become who I was meant to be? Is it that toxic relationship, that dream that's expired, that guilt that doesn't belong to you? Whatever it is, name it, face it, then release it. Because until you do, life will keep dragging you through pain to teach you what peace would feel like. If only you'd let go. Let today be the day you stop carrying the weight and start walking free. You don't owe your past anything, but you owe your future everything. Let go or be dragged. The choice is always yours. The illusion of control. Let's get real for a moment. One of the greatest lies we tell ourselves, the one that steals our peace, our power, and our presence, is this: if I can just control everything, I'll be okay. But the truth is brutal. You are not in control of most things. You can't control what people say about you. You can't control how others feel about you. You can't control the timing of every opportunity, the outcome of every situation, or the behavior of those you love. And yet, we exhaust ourselves trying. We micromanage life, hold on too tightly, and try to force everything to go our way. Why? Because control gives the illusion of safety. It makes us believe that if we just do everything right, nothing will hurt us. But control is not protection, it's a prison. The more you try to control, the more you suffer. I used to believe that controlling every detail would keep me from disappointment. If I could just stay one step ahead of pain, of rejection, of failure, I'd be safe. But I was wrong. All I did was trade freedom for fear. I didn't prevent pain, I prolonged it. I didn't avoid chaos, I became it. That's when I learned one of the greatest teachings life can offer. Peace is not found in control, it's found in surrender. Now let's be clear, surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the outcome you fixated on. It means doing your best, showing up fully, and then releasing the rest. It means understanding that your job is to act with integrity and intention, but not to dictate every result. But the weather will change, people will leave, opportunities will fall through, plans will get disrupted. And in those moments, you can either cling, resist and suffer, or breathe, accept and adapt. You want real power? Real power is when life goes sideways and you stay centered. When the storm comes and you don't try to push it away, you learn how to dance in the rain. You become unshakable not by avoiding the chaos, but by learning to flow with it. Because control is based on fear, but surrender is rooted in faith. And faith isn't blind, it's brave. It says, I may not know what's next, but I trust that I can handle it. I trust that I will grow from it. I trust that even if it doesn't go my way, it will shape me in the way I need. Letting go of control is not the end of power, it's the beginning of wisdom. It's when you finally understand, I don't need to hold everything together. I just need to hold on to myself. So release the illusion, exhale the need to manage every detail, do your part, and trust life to meet you where it's meant to. That's not weakness, that's mastery. Let go of control, let go of fear, and watch how life begins to rise up and carry you forward. Suffering is a signal, not a sentence. Pain has a purpose, but many of us miss it. We feel discomfort and immediately try to silence it. We distract ourselves. We numb it with noise, with people, with scrolling, with addictions. We call pain the enemy, as if its presence means something is wrong with us. But here's the truth you were never taught. Suffering is a signal, not a life sentence. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to direct you. Pain is the mind and soul's way of saying something needs your attention. Something inside of you is begging to be seen, acknowledged, healed. But instead of listening, we run. We run from the grief that asks us to feel. We run from the anger that demands boundaries. We run from the sadness that reveals our unmet needs. But if you keep running from your pain, you'll keep running from your power. I know what it feels like to be stuck in suffering. To wake up with that heavy ache in your chest, feeling lost, alone, uncertain. To wonder if the darkness will ever lift. But I also know this, that darkness was my greatest teacher. It taught me how to sit with myself without judgment. It taught me that healing begins when you stop pretending you're okay. It taught me that facing the pain is how you transform it. And here's what most people never realize. Your pain doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And your ability to move through it, that makes you unstoppable. Pain is the signal that it's time to grow, time to change, time to rise. Think about it, growth never happens in comfort. It happens in the breaking, in the stretching, in the moments when you're forced to let go of who you were to make room for who you're becoming. But that growth only comes if you listen to the pain. Not run, not numb, not suppress. Just listen. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? What needs healing? What truths have I been avoiding? And then be brave enough to answer. Because when you sit with your suffering, you give it space to shift. You turn pain into wisdom. You turn wounds into strength. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of life and start recognizing yourself as a student of it. The pain you're feeling, it's not forever. It's not your identity. It's a signal. And signals are meant to guide you, So let your pain speak. Let it lead. Let it burn through the lies you've believed about yourself. Then, when the flames die down, walk out of the fire knowing this. You are still here, still standing, still growing. And the pain that once broke you, it will become the power that rebuilds you. Letting go is a form of strength. We've been taught that strength means holding on. Holding on to people, habits, plans, even identities that no longer serve us. We cling because we're afraid. Afraid to lose. Afraid to fall. Afraid to be alone. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let go. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you gave up. It means you finally realize that some things are weighing you down, not lifting you up. That some chapters have run their course, and no amount of rewriting will make them fit into the story you're meant to live. Think about it. A tree doesn't resist the fall of its leaves. It lets them go so that new life can emerge. But you're still clinging to dead branches, hoping they'll blossom again. Maybe it's a relationship where your worth is questioned. Maybe it's a dream that belonged to an older version of you. Maybe it's a grudge, a guilt, or a fear that keeps replaying in your mind like a broken record. Whatever it is, you feel it in your body. The tension, the drain, the heaviness. Your soul is tired not from life, but from carrying what you were meant to release. Now, letting go is a sacred act. It requires courage. It demands trust. It asks you to stand in front of what you thought you needed and choose peace over attachment. The truth is, the longer you hold on to what's not for you, the more you block what is for you. You make no room for new blessings because your hands are too full of burdens. Yes, it hurts to let go. Yes, it will feel like loss, but that's only because you're used to associating your identity with what you held. Once you release it, you'll realize you were never the relationship, the job, the mistake, or the title. You were always something greater. Letting go means stepping out of survival mode and into self-respect. It means no longer begging to be chosen, seen, or validated. It means choosing yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. And here's the secret no one talks about. Letting go sets you free. Free from expectations. Free from emotional weight. Free from constantly proving your worth. It creates space. Space for healing, for alignment, for something new. Space for the version of you that doesn't have to pretend, settle, or suffer silently. So whatever it is you're gripping so tightly, ask yourself, is this helping me grow or is it keeping me stuck? If it's holding you back, don't be afraid to release it. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. Because even what broke you had a role in building you. And when you let go with grace, you rise with power. Let go not because you've stopped caring. Let go because you finally started caring about yourself. Healing begins the moment you stop running. There comes a moment in every journey when you realize you're exhausted, not physically, but spiritually. You've been running, not from a place, not from people, but from yourself. You run by staying busy. You run by chasing goals that don't feed your soul. You run by numbing your emotions, by avoiding silence, by pretending you're fine when inside you're falling apart. But let me tell you something powerful. Healing doesn't begin when everything is perfect. Healing begins the moment you stop running. The pain you've buried, the emotions you avoided, the truth you have tried to silence, it's all still there. And it doesn't go away until you turn around and face it. Yeah, we live in a world that glorifies distraction, that teaches you to suppress instead of feel, to achieve instead of reflect, to move on instead of move through. But the soul doesn't work like that. Real healing is uncomfortable. It's messy. It breaks you down before it builds you back up. But that's exactly why it's real, because it requires your honesty, your stillness, your surrender. You don't heal by ignoring the wound. You heal by sitting with it, looking at it, listening to what it's been trying to tell you for years. And yes, it will hurt. Sitting in that silence might bring up tears you didn't know you still had. It might uncover memories you've kept locked away. It might force you to feel everything you've tried so hard to avoid. But here's the miracle. You can't heal what you won't face. But everything you do face, you can heal. The moment you stop running, something inside you starts to shift. Your breath slows. Your thoughts soften. Your body finally stops bracing for impact. You begin to feel safe in your own skin again. You realize you're not broken. You're buried under years of shame, fear, guilt, and lies. And all you needed was a moment of stillness to remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't felt safe enough to be seen. Not by others, but by yourself. Healing isn't about becoming someone new, it's about peeling away the layers that aren't you. The stories you inherited, the beliefs you adopted, the expectations that never belonged to you in the first place. And the only way to do that is to stop running, to sit down with your soul and ask, what hurts? What do I need? What am I ready to release? You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need one brave moment of stillness, one breath where you choose to stay with yourself instead of escape, one decision to face the pain with compassion instead of fear. Because healing isn't found in the future, it's found right here, in this breath, in this moment. And the moment you stop running is the moment you start returning home to yourself. Pain transforms when you learn the lesson. Pain is a powerful teacher, but most of us try to silence it, resist it, numb it, or blame it on others. We rarely sit with it long enough to ask the deeper question, what is this trying to teach me? The truth is, pain by itself does not transform you. Time doesn't heal all wounds unless you use that time wisely. What transforms you is the understanding you gain through the pain. It's the lesson, not just the experience, that creates your next level of growth. You can go through heartbreak and come out bitter. You can face failure and remain insecure. You can lose everything and still live in fear. But you can also go through those same situations and come out wiser, stronger, and freer. It all depends on whether or not you're willing to listen to what the pain is saying. Pain says, throw down, you're out of alignment. Let go, you're holding on to what's already gone. Speak up, you're silencing your truth. Stand up, you're shrinking in spaces that need your voice. Change course, this path is draining your spirit. But too often, we cover up the pain with distractions. We drown it in noise. We try to keep living the same way, hoping the discomfort will just disappear. But it won't. It's not there to hurt you, it's there to wake you up. Every painful moment is a mirror. It's showing you something inside that needs healing, attention, or release. The people who hurt you, they reveal the boundaries you need. The setbacks you face, they highlight the inner strength you've been ignoring. The emotions you suppress, they reflect your need for emotional safety and expression. Pain is not your enemy, it's your invitation. Your invitation to rise, to reevaluate, to remember who you are when everything else is stripped away. When you stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as guidance, everything changes. You stop asking, why me? And you start asking, what is this here to teach me? And when you learn the lesson, the pain begins to lose its grip. It no longer controls you. It empowers you. It becomes your fuel, your wisdom, your clarity. You begin to make different choices. You speak with more conviction. You love with more discernment. You walk with a kind of quiet power that only those who've been through it can carry. This is the process of inner alchemy, turning the lead of your suffering into the gold of your wisdom. You're not meant to stay stuck in the wound. You're meant to rise from it with a deeper understanding of your path and purpose. So, don't resist your pain. Don't rush through it. Ask it what it came to teach you and let that truth set you free. Because pain transforms when you're ready to receive the lesson it was always sent to give you. Your new identity is born in the fire. Transformation doesn't happen in comfort. It's forged in fire. Not the fire that destroys you, but the fire that refines you. And here's the truth. The version of you that will thrive in the next chapter of your life cannot be created in the same mindset that led you to this pain. You can't carry the old you into the future you're praying for. Pain has a purpose, and that purpose is rebirth. The pain came not to punish you, but to strip away who you are not, so who you truly are can emerge. It's in the fire of struggle, heartache and loss that the ego burns, the masks fall off, and your true nature is revealed. This is where your new identity is born. You start to walk differently, not because you want to prove something, but because you've survived something. You speak differently, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You make decisions from power, not people-pleasing. You no longer shrink to fit into spaces that once made you feel safe. Because the fire didn't just burn, it purified. You now know what you value. You now see who is real and who is not. You now understand the sacredness of your energy and your time. You no longer chase what doesn't feel aligned. You become what you once thought you needed. This new version of you, the one emerging from the ashes, it's cold, it's clear. It's not hardened, it's focused. It's not angry, it's awakened. You've realized you don't need validation to feel valuable. You don't need applause to move forward. You don't need the past to make sense, to create a meaningful future. What you need, what you've always needed, is you. The version of you that stopped running. The version that sat with the pain and listened. The version that faced the truth and didn't look away. The version that learned the lesson and chose to rise. So now when you walk into rooms, your energy introduces you before your words do. Not because you're trying to impress, but because you've met yourself in the fire. And once you've done that, no one can convince you to dim your light ever again. You're not the same. You were never meant to be. The fire did its job, and your new identity is not a mask you wear for the world. It's the unfiltered truth of your soul finally free. So step into this next chapter with boldness. Leave behind the roles, the regrets, the routines that kept you small. You're not healing to return to who you were. You're healing to become who you were meant to be all along. Because your new identity isn't born in perfection, it's born in the fire. Let go or be dragged, choose freedom. At the end of the path, after all the struggle, reflection and transformation, there is one final choice that will define your future. Will you let go or will you continue to be dragged? Because no matter how much wisdom you gained or how much inner growth you've done, if you refuse to let go of what's holding you back, you'll always stay stuck in the very pain you were meant to grow beyond. Letting go is not weakness, it is the highest act of strength. It is choosing your peace over your pride. It is surrendering your need for closure, apology, or revenge. It is releasing the illusion that the past must make sense in order for you to move forward. You may not have been able to control what happened to you, but you absolutely control how long you carry it. Ask yourself honestly, what are you still dragging? Is it the heartbreak that you keep replaying like a song stuck on loop? Is it the resentment you feel towards someone who never gave you what you deserved? Is it the identity you built around your pain, so much so you don't know who you'd be without it? This is the truth. If it's too heavy to carry, it's not meant to come with you. You are not meant to be weighed down by your past. You are meant to be lifted by the lessons it gave you. You are not here to survive your life. You are here to live it fully, freely, unapologetically. Letting go doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means you no longer allow it to control you. It means you've reclaimed your power from the story that once defined you. You start writing a new chapter. One where you no longer shrink in fear but expand in faith. One where your peace is more important than proving a point. And where your energy is protected like sacred gold. Because you finally realize it's not easy. In fact, letting go might be the hardest thing you ever do. But it's also the most liberating, because on the other side of letting go is clarity. On the other side is healing. On the other side is you standing tall, unshaken, untethered. No longer a prisoner of your past, but a master of your present. So let the pain go, let the betrayal go, let the disappointment go. You are not here to drag your past into your future. You are here to transform it into fuel for your elevation. Choose freedom. Choose peace. Choose you. Because if you don't let go, you will be dragged. But if you do, you will rise. So here we are, at the end of a journey, but perhaps the very beginning of your transformation. We've walked through the pain, the memories, the weight that's been on your shoulders for far too long. We've peeled back the layers of emotional baggage that you've carried, sometimes without even realizing it. And now, the moment of truth stands before you. You have a choice to make. You can continue to hold on to the past, to old identities, to the stories you tell yourself that justify your pain. You can stay in the prison of what if, why me, and I'll never be the same. But you already know where that road leads. You've lived it, you've felt the consequences, you've cried those tears. Or you can choose to let go. You can release the grip you've had on things that are no longer in your control. You can forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You can begin walking lighter, freer, and stronger, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you became unshakable. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is not weakness. Letting go is strength in its purest form. It says, I refuse to allow my past to define my future. I choose freedom over familiarity. I choose healing over resentment. I choose life over survival. You don't need anyone's permission to heal. You don't need closure from the person who broke you. You don't need perfect timing or flawless circumstances. All you need is the decision to stop being dragged and to rise instead. The decision to stop reliving your trauma and start rewriting your story. The decision to honor your growth, protect your energy, and move forward with courage. Because you're not here to stay wounded, you're here to transform. And every time you choose to release that bitterness, release that disappointment, release that self-doubt, you create space for new beginnings, space for peace, space for the real you to come alive again. So take this moment, breathe, stand tall, and say to yourself, I am no longer a prisoner of my pain. I am a student of it. And now I am free. Because the truth is, you were never meant to be drugged. You were born to rise.